Hi, I'm Todd, and I'll be taking you through your practice today. Today we're going to be going through a handstand preparation flow. In this flow, I'm going to show you everything you need to know to keep your wrists and shoulders healthy and to give you a strong foundation for your handstand practice. If this is your very first time or if you're an intermediate, advanced, this will help to build upon what you already know. And let's go ahead and get started in just a comfortable seat, hands to rest on top of your thighs. And just take a moment to let the gaze soften, allow yourself to arrive. Take a few deep breaths, inhaling through the nose, and exhale to let it all go. Start to clear space in the mind, physical body. We'll begin on hands and knees. So, just to start any inversion practice, your wrists are going to play a huge, vital role. So it's super important anytime you go to invert, practice your handstands to make sure that you're properly warmed through the wrists. So we'll go over a long, lengthy routine that you should practice pretty much every single day, especially anytime that you're going into a handstand. So we'll start hands right underneath the shoulders, paw at the floor. Fingers are spread wide, not super wide. We want to start to think about grounding through the tops of the knuckles and especially our thumb and our forefinger, index finger and thumb. So making sure those have a nice root at the tops of the knuckles. We want to start to pull up, suck up the center of the chest up towards the shoulder blades. We want to draw the belly up in towards the spine. And we want to start to wrap our triceps back. We want to send the eyes at the elbows straight forward ahead of us. I also want to think about your wrist creases being parallel, running parallel to the top of the mat. Your index finger running parallel to the edges of your mat. And that's just a nice little reminder, shapes to remember when you're setting up the hands. Once we have this position, triceps are wrapping, rounded through the shoulders, we're going to start to rock forward and back. As you do this, find your breath. And as you do this, keep trying to send your biceps forward. Again, putting the weight into the thumbs, into the forefingers. You want to think about pressing the hands towards one another, closing off that distance. Here for just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Start to point your fingers now side to side and bring your hands close together. Again, find the wrap of the triceps, round through the upper back, and start to rock side to side. Again, here you might notice that it's easier to place the weight on the thumb and forefinger here. We're allowed to wrap our triceps more easily back when our palms or when our fingers are open side to side. So just noticing that here. Breathing. 3, 2, 1. Point your fingers now back towards the knees. Now, the further you pull your knees back, the more of a sensation you're going to feel as we start to rock forward and back. Letting the heels of the hands peel off the floor each time you rock back, still pressing tops of the knuckles and thumbs down into the floor. Keep reaching the crown forward, keep reaching the collarbones forward as we rock here. Breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit back onto the heels. And just start to make a little fist with the hands, intertwine your fingers, and start to circle in one direction. And circle opposite direction. Now start to reach your hands up overhead. Take a big inhale, open the fingers wide. Exhale, close the fists. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Scoop your belly and your ribs down. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And now rapidly continue the breath, keeping it evenly paced as we open, close rapidly. Breathe through. We got this here for just 20. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Shake that out. Doesn't take too long to get the wrists going, to get the blood flowing there. Shake it out, bring the hands back together, make these little figure 8 shapes with the hands now. Continue to breathe, figure 8 the other way, if you can figure that out. And then let's come back onto hands and knees. So now we're going to start to open up through the wrists in a little different way. We're going to point the fingers back to the knees, flipping the top of the hand down to the floor. Still keeping the wrist crease parallel to the top of the mat, we'll place our other hands down, palm to palm, really pressing for a nice, even line through the wrist crease. And then we're going to play with wrapping the tricep. Take a big inhale, and exhale, start to draw the bicep, pivot the elbow forward. Inhale, wide. Exhale, lengthen the arm, pull the belly up and in, round through the shoulder blades. Inhale, wide. Exhale, wrap it back, sending the inner edge to the elbow. Inhale out. Exhale forward, and now start to find a little even pace. Keep your breath. Start to just add a little bit more of a higher rate of movement here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax right into the other side, top of the hand down. We'll go palm to palm, pressing down, keeping wrist crease even, top of the mat. Inhale, flare the elbow wide. Exhale as you wrap it back. Inhale, out wide, chicken wing. Exhale, wrap it long, column arm. Inhale, out wide. Exhale, wrap it back. Good. A couple more with that pace. Adding the breath. Good, now starting to find a little bit more of a rapid pace of movement, not going for speed, but rather just finding a little rhythm, flow. Just keep tuning into your breath here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Shake out the hands. Good, another little stretch we'll go through here. Hands into a fist. We're going to bring the thumbs the inside of the palm and then close the rest of the fingers around it. Palms are facing one another. Good, long through the arms, so we're like in a kneeling high plank. Start to send the inner part of the wrists forward, little stretch, breathe, wrap the triceps, pull the belly in, take a big inhale. And exhale, roll back on the knuckles, bend your elbows, forearms to the floor. Good, we'll come forward. Sending the inner part of the wrists forward, finding a little extension, a little hyper extension, then roll it back down. Go, move forward and back here. Each time you rock forward, draw the pit of the elbows forward. Like you're trying to corkscrew, screw into the floor, wrapping inwards and down. Just for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Then last little wrist and hand movement we'll go through. I know this might seem like a lot at first, but once you get into the routine, you'll start to see it takes just 5 to 10 minutes really working into the wrists, and this is going to keep your inversion practice very healthy and your ability to keep going over time without injuring the wrists. So now we're going to go fingers on the floor, palms down. And what we're going to do now, we're going to find our long arms, rounding through the back, scapular protraction. And then we're going to press through the tops of the knuckles, so much so we press into the floor that we lift the heels of the hands. We squeeze our thumb and forefingers together and then lower back down. Good. Show that again. Press into the floor, round, draw thumb and forefinger together, squeeze palms of the hands from the floor and lower. We'll continue that up and down. Now over time, as this starts to feel okay, it might be very difficult right now just to do this from the knees. You might bring the knees in closer, make that a little bit of an easier time. As that feels better, you can start to walk the knees back. As you press in, you extend the lever, makes it more difficult, and eventually be able to do this from plank. Just for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Just bringing the wrists together, make a little roll, pulley, shape. Backs in front of the wrists together, and then start to circle other direction. Now that the wrists are all warmed up, we'll move into our shoulders and into our scaps. Naturally, we'll start with the scaps. Very important muscle group and area for handstands. And we'll just start to engage here. So draw the belly in, shoulders down, crown of the head tall. Bring your hands down by your sides. Start to send the shoulders forward, shoulder head squeezing in together, forward, then up, hug them back, and down, keeping the rib cage hugging down, forward, up, back, down, forward, up, back, and down. Good. 3 more rotations. Adding the breath really accentuates the scapulas here. And then let's go other way, setting the shoulders down. We bring them back, up, forward, and down. Back, up, forward, and down. So we're making this little square shape with our shoulders. Add the breath here for another 3 rotations. Start to smooth out the square a little bit more into a circle. Last, final rotation. And set the shoulders down. Now we'll come back onto hands and knees and get into the scaps another way. And this way will be very important, as we will be spending most of the time on our hands when we're in handstand. So getting used to finding the elevation as well as the depression of the scapulas here in our prone position. So on an inhale, round through the back, scoop the belly in, wrap the triceps back, send the elbows forward. You might even lean the shoulders forward slightly here. Scoop the belly in again. Think of squeezing your thumb and forefinger together. So we did on one of our last wrist exercises. Hug the shoulders back, collarbones forward, hold here, 3, 2, 1, and then let the shoulders hug up. Let the chest, sternum fall towards the floor while keeping the arms nice and long. And then we'll start to move forward and back, or up and down rather, from here. Round through the back. Inhale, protract. Exhale, send the chest through the shoulders. Retract. Inhale. Heart floats up. Exhale, heart heavy down. One more. Inhale. Up. Exhale, bring it down. And release. Good. Now our scapulas are now warmed up, more tuned in. Our wrists, our forearms, our elbows. Let's get a little bit more into the shoulders, into the mobility of the shoulders. So we'll start from this kneeling position. One of my favorites, because this works our shoulders and gets into our hips as well. We'll lower our right hand down. I'll mirror you. Right hand down, fingertips or your palm. Taking your left arm. On an inhale, we'll sweep in front of the body, like spreading butter. Then hug the left shoulder back to find an opening through our thoracic, mid-back, through our upper back and hip. Take one more inhale. And then start to reach back behind you, the left arm reaching back, chest to the sky, reach, reach, reach out of the shoulders, eventually digging your left hand down to the floor. We'll go into the other side, right arm. Inhale, we'll cascade in front of the body, open the right shoulder blade, hug the shoulder down away from the ear. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, reach the arm back behind you, like presenting something beautiful, like this mandala, and set the right hand down. We'll do a couple more rotations, alternating the sides. Left arm, inhale. Sweep it all the way back behind you. Lower down, inhale. Right arm, exhale as you begin the descent. Inhale, left arm. Hips might draw forward, hips might come off the heels, that's okay. I'm not too worried about that area. Inhale, right arm. Just letting it feel good in the stretch and the rotation. And lightly set it down. Good. From here, let's come into downward facing dog. Take a moment, pedal out the legs, the feet. Might sway into the hips, just becoming a little more acquainted now with the back of the body, with the sides of the body, your hips. And then start to lift your gaze up to the hands, pike up high onto the toes, and lightly tiptoe your way to the top of the space. Practice the wrapping of the triceps back here. Practice pressing down through the thumb and the forefinger, palm staying down for as long as you can, finding a little pike, and then we'll settle with the forward folds. You can find a light bend in the knees. Doesn't have to be super deep bend. You might even lengthen the legs all the way. Allow the crown of the head to be heavy. We'll stay here for a few breaths. I always like to just find what feels nice here. A little clasp of the forearms. You might gently rock up and down. Start to open up a little bit more through the sacrum, through the QL muscles. Really important for handstands and for pressing motions. And if you like to spend a lot of time upside down, it's an important group to work. You might find a little sway side to side, pedaling of the legs, the knees. Just allow yourself to be heavy though, upper body. Trying to find a marriage between the ribs and the thighs. And then let's go for a little compression. Let's wrap forearms behind the shins, the calves. Pull your heart closer to the knees, the head be heavy. Bring some weight forward into your toes and trust the hips to be aligned over the heels. Breathe. Each exhale, maybe gently pull yourself in a little deeper. Inhale, create space. Exhale, a little deeper. Again, big inhale. Exhale, draw in a little deeper. One more big inhale. Exhale, pull it in for 5, 4, send tailbone high, 4, flex the legs, quads, 2, 3, 2, 1. Release, bend your knees, chin on your chest, and lightly ragdoll your way up to stand. Shoulders roll back. Inhale the arms high. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms high. And exhale, folds forward. Inhale, lift up halfway, flatten the back. You can bring hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank. And now we're playing with high plank. So finding that same wrap of the arms, drawing the belly in, pulling our ribs up high on your toes. Find a little tuck of the tailbone pelvis. Letting the collarbones reach out forward and hold here for just another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Draw the belly up and in. So after we've worked our wrists, our shoulders, it's time to begin warming more and more into our core body. Since that's what connects us, the upper to the lower, and inversions, extremely important. And start to reach your gaze forward, rise up high into the toes, and again, tiptoe to the top. Keep the palms down, create as much space, hug the shoulders up to the ears as you tiptoe your way, piking high. Letting the hips try to settle over the shoulders. Things are getting tight, walk through it, you can. And then find your forward fold, heels down. Head heavy. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, folds forward. Inhale, upward salute, reach high. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, and we'll roll onto the low back for low. Boom. Go back to the floor. Mid back to the floor. Legs and shoulders are off. And we want to think about hugging our ribs down, our hips up towards our ribs, reaching, creating a connection between our chests and our toes. Lifting the gaze, trying to create that natural arc of the spine. And we'll hold here for just another 15,
14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. We'll set up for bridge pose. Walk the feet back until the fingers can touch the Achilles. So we're working now into our low back, into our hamstrings, into our glutes, because it's not just core, it's not just our abs, it's our ability to work the entire body from our core all the way throughout, which is very needed in handstands. On an inhale, let's press up our bridge pose. Find a little squeeze of the glutes, draw your belly down, inner thighs hugging towards one another. Let your chin move away from the chest, lengthen through the neck. Stay for just one more deep breath. And then start to extend your left leg out long, flexing the toes. Keep the hips in line, square. Good. Start to descend your tailbone to roll down to the floor. Then on an inhale, back up. Exhale, roll it down last time. Inhale it up. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little higher. Good. Then lower, heel down. Everything lowers down. Setting up. Inhale your bridge. Holding, thinking hips opening up and out. Squeezing glutes together. Then extend through the right leg. Flex your toes. Hold, breathe. Good. Start to descend. Roll the spine down. Your tailbone touching last. Inhale, rise back up. And exhale to roll it back down. Inhale up and hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little higher. And then settle the right heel down. Roll everything back down. Hug the knees into the chest. Start to rock up and down the spine, forward and back. And we'll make our way into a high plank. However you get there. Good. From here we'll lower onto our forearms. Forearm plank, elbows right beneath the shoulders. Scoop the belly up and in, high onto the toes. You want to think about pulling your elbows back to the hip tips. And traction your forearms together, finding that thumb and forefinger still trying to ground here. And then start to rock forward and back. Here for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Release down. Clasp the hands back behind you. Inhale, draw your knuckles down to the floor. Lift your chest. Good. And release. And from here, we'll start to now work a little bit more into our core, get a little more focused, connected to our core, and this is really going to set us up right for our inversion practice. So let's find our high plank. Step back high, long through the arms, pushing to the floor. A little more familiar with this move. And it's fine if the arms are shaking, if this is challenging. You can lower to the knees, scoop the belly, and still play with that engagement of your core, hugging the front body up and in. Over time, working to the high plank, because this is your foundation for your handstand. Once you have this feeling locked in, nice and tight, handstands will come much more easily to you. So keep holding. Another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, inhale, roll forward, high plank. High onto your toes. Good, now start to walk your feet wide, wider than the edges of the mat, and begin tenting onto your left fingertips. Round through the upper back shoulders, now fingers, left hand, 45-degree angle. Straight out to the side, and send your left arm up to the sky, side plank variation. And now back the way we came, arm to the side. 45. Tented fingers, knuckles, palm, other side. Tenting right fingers. Wrap through the left tricep, 45. Out to the side, straight up to the sky. Good, take it back to the side. 45. Fingers, knuckles, palm, knees down. Breathe, child's pose. And this movement, we're starting to find a little bit more of a play and balance, having to balance opposite sides of the body. That little Z line helps to form more and more a connection between, across our body, giving us more in our core, more of a sense of control in our core. So we'll go through that one more time, just one round on each side. Hands under shoulders, step back, high plank, walk your feet wide. Start to tent onto the left fingers. Really press through the right thumb and forefinger, then 45. Straight out to the side. Take it up overhead. Back out to the side. 45. Fingers, knuckles, palm, other way. Tented right fingers. Lean into the left side. The left thumb, left forefinger, 45. Out to the side. Up overhead. Back to the side, square hips, 45. Fingers, knuckles, palms, knees down. And we'll just pretend like nothing ever happened. Breathe. And start to sit back onto the heels. Good, so hopefully by now we're feeling warm in our wrists, our shoulders, our core, have a better sense of our upper body. We're just going to do a brief warm-up for our legs, get a little bit more into the legs, a little bit more awareness there, and then we'll start getting into handstand. We'll start at the wall, we'll get there in just a moment. Let's start back and downward facing dog. And from downward facing dog, inhale, reach the right heel high. And exhale, knee to your forehead, step it right through between the hands, lower the back knee. Inhale, the arms high. And bring your hands back down to the floor, standing splits, left heel high. And let the crown of the head be heavy. And bring knee into nose, compress through the spine, tailbone, step forward. Forward fold, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Reach your right toes to the back of the mat and send the back knee down. Inhale, the arms up high, hips forward, waking up hips and spine. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, step back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left heel high. Exhale, knee to your forehead. Step it through. Lower the back knee. Inhale, the arms high. Feel that space, the pelvis of the hips, hugging the left hip back. Then hands down, standing splits. Heart to knee, kick up. Find more and more space, lengthening the right glutes away from the left heel. Then knee to your forehead, step forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale, upward salute this time. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold your left toes to the back of the mat. Settle the back knee down. Inhale, the arms up high. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, step back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll go through it again. Inhale, the right heel high. Exhale, knee to your forehead. Step through. Keep the back knee lifted. Inhale, high crescents. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold, reach your right toes back. Inhale, high crescents. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, step back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel high. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, high crescents. Exhale, chair pose now with airplane arms winging back. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, folds forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left toes to the back of the mat, runners. Inhale, high crescents. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, step back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take one more deep breath, downward dog. Come on to knees. Good. And now we'll get into the part of the practice that I know you came for, getting upside down into handstands. So today we're going to start where I recommend most anybody to start, which is at the wall. And this is going to give you a sense of allowing time to take that fear away, if that's there, to get upside down. To get you comfortable with being on your hands, with being vertical and upside down, and to use your breath while you're there. One of the easiest things is you get there, maybe freestanding, and then forget to breathe. So we're going to try to bring in all the aspects that we would in a yoga practice onto the wall in our handstand. So we want to start hands right beneath the shoulders like we've been doing in our planks, in our tabletops, but now at the wall. Now we want to think about setting our wrist crease, again parallel now to the wall. So with your hands spaced out, I'd like to start downward facing dog. Step your feet forward. One foot is going to stay on the floor. Heel might be touching down. We'll start with one leg up in the sky. And this way we have a little bit more of our hips are already coming over the shoulders, so we don't have to kick so much as we can just kind of roll forward into it. Bringing the feet back down. If they fall, lean forward, feet to the wall. Press down through the thumb and the forefinger. You can bring your feet together. You don't have to point the toes, but just find a sense of them. Draw your belly in. Reach, reach, reach. Shoulders up towards the ears. Let's hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One foot down. Our leaping leg down. Good. And take a break. Now, if this is feeling challenging, just getting on the wall, I really recommend going through a lot of the drills we've gone through already in the video, especially warming up our core and our legs. If you need a little bit more, you can always add more. But the wall is going to be a great place to start. Once you have 15 seconds, 20 seconds on the wall, feeling comfortable and able to breathe, then we can start to bring it a little bit more and more off the mat. But let's go ahead and get another round here on the wall. So setting up, we'll go other leg this side. Fingers wide, not too wide. This time the opposite foot. Stepping forward, in this case my left foot. And I'll lead with the right leg kicking up. And again, trying to find that rounding already, pressing through the thumb and forefinger already. And just trying to roll our way towards the wall. We'll go in 3, 2, 1. Good, one leg up. Let the other leg meet it. Breathe, find control of your breath. Shoulders up to ears. Try your best to breathe. That'll help you not to turn super, super red. Here for just another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg down. Kicking leg lands back. Good. And relax. And get the shoulders if you roll. Shake out the hands, the wrists. And then our next variation, what we'll be doing is we'll be practicing a chest to wall handstands. What's nice about the chest to wall
You might notice when you're going back to the wall that you have just one disadvantage of being bananaed in the back. So you have this little tailbone kind of flicking up and back, and then rounding the ribs forward. And we want to try to prevent that. We want to hug our ribs down. We want to keep a nice neutral spine through this, and going chest to the wall is going to more accurately going to bring us into that neutrality through the spine. So to start there, go feet to the wall. Again, find your hand positioning, hands right underneath the shoulders. And elevate the hips, start to walk the legs up. And we don't want to walk all the way to the wall, but leave some space between you, hands, and the wall. Press down, thumb and forefinger. Wrap the triceps, push the shoulders up to your ears, pull your belly in. You might gaze up towards the toes if you can see them. Keep holding another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leaning over to one side, letting one leg extend. We'll gently bring our way down. And that also brings us into conscious falling. Always want to lean one way and cartwheel, somersaults. Not somersaults, just cartwheel out of it. So there you might have felt it be a little bit more intense, especially at the shoulders, at the chest. And we're just kind of building the strength, we're building the patterning in the body to be on the hands. And also just a reminder that this isn't normal, it's not common to always be on your hands like this. We're programmed to be on our feet all the time, all day, 70% of the time. We're on our feet when we're not sleeping. So we're having to train a whole new pattern in the body. So just be patient and try to enjoy the journey along the way and try to find the teachings, the lessons within the practice along the way. Let's do that one more time. We'll go chest to the wall. Find your hand positioning. Shoulders over the wrist creases. Pressing thumb and forefinger, we pike our hips up and start to walk our way back, trying to keep the hands beneath the shoulders that they're holding up. Finding that length, pushing from the palm, push down into the floor, push down. Pull the belly up and in. Lengthen the arms. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leaning to one side and lightly make your way out. And I might recommend in a day doing these drills to start at the wall are really nice. We're going to do one last drill at the wall, and that is going to be our L-sit pike against the wall. So for this movement, you'll want to measure between you and the wall, about hip to the end of the heel. Finding that, and then wherever your bottom foot is at, is about where you want your hands to be. So if my foot is right here, I'll know my hands need to be right here when I'm walking up. I'll start a little bit more forward to give myself more space. Try to bring my legs parallel with the floor. My hands back into position. Find the length through the arms, then gently walk the feet down. Try to find that tailbone over the shoulder, over the hip alignment. Sometimes it helps too to have a friend here just checking you out, or camera, a mirror, so you get real-time feedback. We'll hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees and lightly lower back out. Again, I don't know if you were able to hear me when I was in that position, but it's really nice to have somebody there, either a friend watching you just to check your alignment. You want to find that nice 90-degree angle at your hip line, or a camera set up, something, a mirror that you can look at and get that feedback. And also try to feel what that feels like. It should feel like a nice floating sensation, a nice natural alignment. And we'll do that One more time. So remembering from last time where your hands are supposed to go, you can start there. You can always start a little further forward, give yourself more space to get set up. Hands under shoulders. Feet can start up high at an angle and then walk their way down. Scoop the belly in. Find the 90-degree. Holds for just another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. And then last but not least for today, I'll show you how to start getting into your handstand in free space off the ground. So we'll give a moment, couple deep breaths, and we'll make our way into the downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're going to start practicing our kick-ups into handstand. So it's nice to start from here, step the feet a little bit forward, not getting into a runner's lunge to do this, but more of like a pyramid pose to get set up. We find a little bend through the front knee, and just like we were getting onto the wall, starting one leg lifted, drawing the belly up and in, long through the arms already. That way we're not having to give a big kick up, but rather we can lean forward to the shoulders and start to find that lift of our bottom foot off the floor. So let's give yourself some space and time to practice this, and we'll practice on both sides. So let's start in our pyramid-esque pose. One foot on the floor, one leg coming up off the floor, and then rolling forward into it. And then trying to just find at first this little L shape. Once you find that, you can start to bring the feet together and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hopefully you did better than me right there. So that's really the practice of hopping up into handstand. You want to do it as gently as possible, and I think that's going to go a long way, because a lot of the times what you'll see is people doing a big kick, or either they're starting from the hands and trying to cartwheel their way or kick their way up, and what we want to do is we want to learn how to control our way into the posture and have good alignment, have control, and that's really going to make the posture look a lot nicer. So we'll start now with the other leg. So we'll start in that little pyramid-esque posture. Hands out in front of you, laying the shoulders, playing with finding your set of the thumb and the forefinger, hugging them towards one another, lifting one leg up, and we'll go in 3, and 2, 1, lightly, kick up. Keep trying to find the length through the arms, the shoulders, up towards the ears. Relax. Yeah. And then one last little bonus move we'll go through, and this is something that's helped me a lot, is to go from our low lunges into handstand kick-ups. So we'll start just from a kneel, right leg forward. So we'll start, inhale, reach your arms high. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Just like we were kicking up into standing splits, but now from the hands. Lightly kick up and then switch your feet. Left foot in front, right knee lowers down. Inhale, the arms up high. And exhale, hands down. Kicking up, lean into the hands, shoulders forward, then switch the feet. Over time, not trying to make it as wild. Lean forward, a gentle step, and lower the back knee. Inhale, arms high. And exhale, hands down. We're building more and more elasticity too through the hips. Inhale, arms high to get us into our handstand. Good, lower and break. So you have the warm-ups now for getting your wrists all warmed up, for getting your shoulders, your scapulas warmed up, tuned into that, your core body, your upper body, lower body, all tuned in, and some drills. So you have your handstand against the wall with your back to the wall. You have your handstand with your face to the wall, with your L pike shape, trying to get your 90-degree angle at the hips. You have your hops from your pyramid down dog, and then you have your little hops a little bit more easy from your kneeling lunges. And yeah, thank you for coming and practicing today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you get the most out of this practice. And the most important thing is to remember to keep on practicing your handstands. Try to practice every day. Always remember, warm your wrists, your shoulders, your core. Get it ready, nice and tuned up, and that'll ensure a nice, safe arm balance handstand practice for you. Namaste.